All right, everyone, welcome back to another deep dive. Home repairs, those are always kind of hanging over our heads as homeowners.
Right.
Especially here in South Carolina. And it's not just me saying that.
Definitely.
We did a survey, the 2025 Homeowners Repair Survey, and it showed that a full 25% of homeowners here had to put off repairs they really needed.
Wow.
And get this, 59% delayed them just because of money. That's almost, 6 out of 10 people? It's a real issue.
Absolutely. And, it's more than just putting things off. I mean, sometimes it's just an annoyance, but sometimes those little things turn into bigger problems down the road. Not to mention just not having things working right in your own home.
Exactly. It can impact your comfort, how much you enjoy your home, so many things. But that's actually what we're going to dig into today. There's some good news, I promise, because in 2025 alone, here in South Carolina, we found over 105 grant programs just for home improvement and repairs.
105. That's a lot to sift through.
It is. That's why we're doing this deep dive, right? We want to make this whole thing less overwhelming, help you figure out where to even start looking for help. No one has time to go through 105 programs one by one.
Definitely not. So instead of getting lost in all that, we're going to give you the lay of the land, kind of like a map so you know which direction to head in.
Love that, a map analogy. Okay, so first things first, where does this money even come from? Well, we found 5 main sources. First off, there's the federal level. That's mainly through HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Right.
And then there's the state of South Carolina itself. They have the South Carolina Department of Housing, SCDH. They both do a lot of work sending funds down to counties, cities, more local places.
And that brings us to the third source, which is really key. County and city programs. This is where a lot of the money is, actually. We found over $57 million just at this local level, all for home repairs, rehab, and improvements right here in South Carolina.
That's a huge chunk of change.
It is, and these local programs, they often really understand the specific needs of their communities. So that's something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Okay, source number 4 is nonprofits and those community organizations. It's amazing how many of them are out there. Almost every town, city, county, they have groups dedicated to helping homeowners, especially folks with lower incomes, and of course our seniors.
For sure.
And last but not least, for those living out in the country, the rural areas, there's even more help, including resources through the USDA.
Right. That's a big one for rural communities.
It is. So we have all these sources, and you're probably thinking, okay, but what kind of repairs will they actually help with? And honestly, it's probably a lot more than you think. You might assume it's only for emergencies, like if your roof caves in or something.
Right. You might think it's got to be super dire.
But in reality, most programs are set up to help with a wide range of needs. We're talking windows, heating and AC systems, roof work, foundations, electrical problems, plumbing issues, even things like bathroom and kitchen remodels, sewer line repairs, water lines, and importantly, getting rid of health hazards like asbestos and lead.
That's a huge one for health and safety.
It is, especially if you have young kids. And it's not just about what needs fixing. A lot of these programs focus on helping certain groups of people, like seniors.
Oh, yeah.
We saw about 9 programs just for them, another 9 for folks in cities and suburbs, 9 for people with disabilities, 5 specifically for rural areas, and about 7 for veterans.
Wow, that's really targeted support.
It is. Now, I know the next big question is probably who can actually get this help?
Right. Do I even qualify?
Exactly. And the good news is, generally, it seems like every homeowner in South Carolina could be eligible for something. But, and this is important because there's a lot of need, a lot of these programs prioritize certain groups.
Makes sense.
They often focus on folks who might be more vulnerable.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Seniors, veterans, people with disabilities, and households with lower incomes, they often get priority. And there's not always unlimited money, right? So a lot of programs work on a first-come, first-served basis.
Oh, that's really important to know.
It is. If you think you might qualify, don't wait. Get that application in as early as you can.
Don't miss out because you waited.
Exactly. And when it comes to qualifying, it usually boils down to 2 main things: how much money your household makes and where your home is located. City and county programs sometimes use the median income for their area to decide who qualifies.
That's helpful to know.
It is. So even if you think your income is kind of in the middle, check those requirements anyway. You never know. You might still qualify based on where you live.
Yeah, those median incomes can really vary from place to place.
Exactly. Don't just assume you won't qualify for anything. Do your research, see what's out there for your specific area.
Definitely worth the time.
It is. Okay, now for the big question everyone wants to know. Can I really get like $10,000 for home improvements? And the exciting part is, yes.
Really?
Yeah, it is possible. There are opportunities out there for that kind of money. And that's what this whole deep dive is about, giving you the info you need to find them.
Okay, that's encouraging.
It is, and just to clarify, we're not just talking loans that have to pay back.
Oh, good.
There are actual free grants out there, and these often cover really important stuff, like fixing big structural problems that could be dangerous, major repairs that need to happen,
Right.
and helping seniors and people with disabilities stay safe and independent in their homes.
That's so important.
It is. We want to make this as easy as possible for you, right? So we put together a big list of resources, links to all the programs and organizations we've talked about today.
That's awesome.
You can find it all on the podcast page, so definitely head over there and check it out.
Makes sense. This deep dive is a great overview, but the real nitty-gritty, like who qualifies for what, how to apply, all that, you'll find that on those program websites. So having those links all in one place is super helpful.
Exactly. Think of this as your starting point, and then those links will take you to the next level of detail.
Step by step.
Exactly. Okay, just to recap, if you're a homeowner in South Carolina and you've got repairs you need to do, maybe you're thinking about upgrades too, there are tons of programs out there to help. Federal, state, county, city, nonprofits, even specific help for rural areas.
And don't forget, those eligibility rules change from program to program.
Yep,
But a lot of them do give priority to seniors, veterans, people with disabilities, and those with lower incomes.
that's right.
And that first come, first served thing
Oh, yeah.
is really important to remember. Look into these programs early. Don't wait.
Exactly. You don't want to miss out. And remember, these programs can help with all kinds of stuff, from a leaky roof to making your home more comfortable, more accessible, safer.
So much potential.
There really is. So I want you to think about this. Imagine finally getting that nagging repair taken care of.
Ah, the relief.
Right. Not only will it make your home better, maybe even increase its value, but it can also just give you peace of mind.
For sure.
Less stress, right? I encourage you, take that first step. Go to the podcast page, check out those links we put together. You might be surprised what's out there for you.
Absolutely. It's worth it.
It really is. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.